Okay, so this video will be about how I grew my profit and also how to grow your diamonds. Right now, I'm going to focus on how I grew my profit. The main thing that's going to contribute to your profit growth is your furniture and multiple cup machines. Those are the two key things that are very important in order to grow your profit. Now, I know that on some of the My Cafe social media pages, they have said that they have made all of the styles equal in how much profit they give you, but that is not true because I actually tested it with my current sub-style. I put in another sub-style that is available at the same time as this sub-style, which is the Northern Lights Peak Lightning Stand. That is available at the same time as the champagne sub-style within the French style. And so right now my current percentage in tips is 5,852.97%. If I switch out one of my stands here, my tips went down in the French sub-style, and if you add that together, it does not equal out the same amount as if I just kept my single style here. So they are not equal. And so having one style in your cafe is very important, and using the most expensive furniture that is available to you at each level every time you level up, that is going to grow your profit. So every time you level up, you should be changing out all of your old furniture with new furniture. Once you have that whole sub-style section within that style in your cafe, stay at that level for a few weeks so that you can see the growth in your profit. If you are constantly leveling up very quickly, you're not going to see any growth. You're only going to see a decrease because you're not giving your cafe time to make any of that money back. So in order to see growth, you need to be patient, you need to wait, you need to allow the coins to accumulate in order to see that change. This is one of my members who took my advice about changing around his cafe to grow his profit. So he was not using the most expensive furniture in this photo because I wanted him to take a picture of how his cafe looked before he started making any changes, and also take a picture of the tips that he was earning before he started making any changes to his cafe. So that way when his profit started to grow, he could start seeing, he will start to see the difference in the growth just by changing his furniture. He is using the Northern Lights. In this picture, he is using the Breeze sub-style in the Northern Lights. And his original question was, how can he keep his customers from leaving angry? And so the first thing I suggested is that he block off the tables that he does not want to use as far as his customers sitting at, and only have available to them the tables that he wants his customers to use. That way they are all in one area and they're easier to get to, which I will speak about later. But also he wanted me to give him some tips on growing his profit. What changes did I see that need to be made in order for him to start seeing a bigger growth in his profit? And so after he took this picture of his cafe before he began making changes that I suggested, he also took a picture of the tips that he was earning during that time as well. So he needed to update his furniture to the Milky Way sub-style Ford at the time. Take a picture of that, and then take a picture of the growth in his tips as well. Just changing out as much of the furniture as he could with how much coins he had available to do that. So from here, the few changes he made here, he put in some more drinks, the lemonade and the punch. He put in the different wallpaper and flooring, I believe. Yes, the wallpaper and the flooring. And he changed out the couch, changed out one of the menus, and just adding in just, different things here and there. This grew his tips to 2,710.56, when before it was 1,434.59. Just making little bits of changes that he was able with the coins that he had, that made a huge difference in his tip growth. He saved up, and once he was able to make more changes, he changed out some stands here, as you can see. He also changed out another menu, and he moved some things around as well, and that growth from the 2,710.56 went to 3,332.34%. So again, a big growth just from changing out the stands and another menu as well. And as you can see in the cups, he have all types of cups. He has 2-cup machines, 3-cup machines. He has some single-cup machines. He's buying what he needs for his cafe, and just strictly sticking to what he needs. And again, that also makes a difference, because you don't want to buy extra equipment that you're not going to be able to place anywhere, or not going to have any room for, or not going to even need. So that also makes a difference as far as not wasting your diamonds at least, because you will get to a point to where your coins, it's not going to matter. When it comes to tables that I don't want my customers to sit at, and extra decorations that you get from the festival marathon or stories or whatever, you want to be selective on what you have in your cafe. You want to use the furniture that's going to bring you the most tips. And the only way that you can do that is by placing it in your cafe, and seeing which one brings you the most tips, if there's an increase or decrease. So I have 3 tables of 2 back here with centerpieces on them, and so I'm going to use this new table for 2 that we just got from the festival that just ended, or sorry, the marathon that just ended. And I'm going to change out the cupcake table for 2 first. Oh, sorry. So remember, my tips is 5,852.97. So what will my tips be when I change out that table for 2? Now it is 5,851.65. So it decreased. Sorry. It went from 52 to 51. So I am not going to remove this. I am going to put that back. Let me see. Oops. Okay. My next table for 2. Again, that decreased. So I am going to keep this in here instead. And my last table for 2. I'm just going to wait until she gives him his drink. Okay. My last table for 2. This actually increased from 52 to 53. So I am going to keep this new holiday table for 2 instead of this butterfly table for 2. because the holiday table for two gives me more tips than the butterfly table for two. So I'm going to keep that table for two instead. And as far as determining whether you should replace your actual styled tables for decorative tables, you should never switch your actual style tables for decorative tables, because your style tables will always be more profitable than your decorative tables. So when you're decorating your cafe, you should focus on having as many styled tables for two and tables for four in your cafe. However many tables you want to get all of those in your cafe first, and then whatever extra room you have, if you want to have decorative tables in your cafe, but you don't want your customers to sit at them, then you can block them off somehow, either using stands or using decorations that will allow you to block them off. Not all decorations will block off the area. So definitely trying to use your stands somehow will be easier to block off whatever stands or couches or tables you don't want your customers to sit at, which is what I've done here. I don't want my customers to sit at any of those tables or this couch over here, so I put them behind stands so that they cannot get to them, so they are all forced to one area. You don't want your cafe decorated to where your tables are all over the place and they have a large quantity of selection to choose from, because the longer it takes for your employees to get to them, the longer it's going to take for them to get their order. And now that the customers will leave once they have been sitting there for too long, you don't want to do that. You don't want them to leave. So in order for them to get to the customers quickly, it's best to have them in one area, in one location that is accessible very easily for your employees, so that they don't have to do a whole lot of unnecessary moving around. And the reason why this is important is because if you constantly have, I would say probably between 3 to 5 people leaving all the time because it takes your employees too long to get to them and give them their order, then you're going to be losing money. So them walking out angry and never being served, that's a loss of profit. So you don't want that. And you see how I have my my bar counters closer to everything, because I want them taken care of as quickly as possible so that they can fill the orders that the servers put on the counter a lot quicker. And I made sure that the service table is really close to the area where my servers are going to be taking orders. That way they don't have far to walk at all. They get there really, really quickly, and all they have to do is just wait for one of my baristas to fill the order for them and place it on the table. So as long as the employees that are serving the people on the couches and at the tables don't have far to walk, then the orders get taken to the customers a lot more quickly. You also want to decorate your machines and everything kind of in a way that whenever they're mixing the syrups, the ice creams, the extra little spices up here like cinnamon, lemon, honey, and all that, you want to kind of organize all of that, even your cake displays, in a way that all the things that are ordered often are close together, and like the toppings and everything. You want all of that to be close together so that your employees can get to those toppings a whole lot quicker, make that drink or that dessert really quickly, and then take it to the customer. The faster that they serve their customers, then the less likely you're going to run into situations where customers leave because they are not getting served in a timely manner. So that is also important as far as you not losing any profit. Now back to the style. Like I said, you want to use one style, because they are not all equal. I know the accordion style, which is the last added sub-style within the French style, that is less profitable than the champagne sub-style. And so it is best that if you are using the French style, then to remain at the champagne sub-style. Do not upgrade your cafe into the accordion sub-style, because you will actually decrease the percentage in tips. So that's, that's not something that you want. But here is the table for four. I'm just going to show you this by replacing one of my French styles tables of four. And this decreased by a lot, 5787.40. And then with my French style table for four, if you did not remember, 5853.40. So I will never switch out this table for four with any other decorative table for four, because it will always decrease my tips. The only tables that I switch around to see which one brings me more profit are these table for threes table for twos back here blocked off. Now, as far as the centerpiece, again, any decorative item that you get from the game that is not directly from your style will be less profitable than your style. I hope that makes sense if I said that right. Any decorative, like table decorations or anything that you have in your cafe will be less profitable than your style table centerpieces. So I had Halloween candles on these three tables back here. Actually, I had two Halloween candles and then a what is it? You can see it from the store here. It was the candles, if I can find it, because I had to buy it at the beginning for a story. One of my customers wanted me to get some candles for a date. Well, I cannot find it. I sold it by accident. I meant to show you the difference in tips, but I'll just show you with this other holiday centerpiece. So again, my tips are currently 5,853.40%. And I am going to, try to grab this little hat here. If I can, no. There we go, I think I got it. Yes, I got it. Okay. So, I always have trouble moving this. Okay. My percent has dropped. It is now 5,853.33 instead of 0.40. So I will put that hat back on my table. Nope. Yes, okay. So when you're checking this stuff, you want to do it whenever your people are not serving customers, because if you have the least profitable decoration in your cafe instead of the more profitable one, then when they give them their last order or their last item, then that is going to transfer into how much coins they're going to give you. So you always want to wait until your employees are done serving everyone, so that way you get the most out of the coins that they give your employees. I did mention and I did show how I change out my furniture with more expensive furniture to grow my profit in another video, in one of my earlier videos, and I will leave that link to that video in the descriptions if you want to go and just see that really quickly. But now I'm going to move on to, or actually I will mention, okay, so having multiple cup machines, that also makes a big difference in growing your profit. And I'm just going to show you really quickly with, I will use my milkshake, my 3-cup milkshake, just because that one is the most expensive one. That's the most 3-cup beverage that I have. That's the most expensive. So again, my tips are 5,853.40% when I take that 3-cup milkshake out. This is how much it drops. 5,737.90%. That's a big drop. That is a big drop. So, before I go into diamonds, if you are able to have 3-cup machines instead of 2-cup machines, then do that. That'll be very beneficial to you. Now, I will say you do not need all these machines like I have. I honestly, whenever I got all of the machines, this was before they started adding new levels more frequently. Whenever I got all of my machines, the highest level they had was 32. But anyways, yeah, so they weren't adding any new levels like they are more frequently now. And so I thought that I was going to get to this level and that's it. No more, extra equipment. Because they hadn't made any new levels in a very long time. So that led to me getting all of these equipment. And then after I got all of this equipment, they started adding more levels. And I didn't want to sell them. This is only for the multiple cut machines. If you buy multiple cut machines and then you get to a point to where you don't have anywhere to put them because you need to put newer equipment into your cafe, do not sell your multiple cup machines. At some point, you will be able to work it back into your cafe. And also, you spent diamonds on that. And as you already know, diamonds are already difficult to grow. So you don't want to just buy something and then have to store it, then put it into your inventory and then sell it. Like, yes, you get coins from it, but honestly, if you start growing your profit and organizing your cafe better as far as the styles that you use, then coins won't even be an issue. You selling that multiple cut machine will really be irrelevant when it comes to your profit. So if you don't have anywhere to put the machine, just store it into your inventory until you can fit it back into your cafe. And that is what I did. I have a lot of extra machines that I bought that I'm hoping that at some point I will be able to give away to my township members that is decorating their cafe in a French style as well. And that goes for this extra hot chocolate machine here because I don't keep single cups. That also goes for this single cup cappuccino machine here. This extra 2-cup tea. Oh, there. And this extra 2-cup latte here. So those are machines that I'm hoping that I'll be able to give away to someone in my township at some point if that is ever implemented into the game. But if it's not, then it's just going to remain here in my cafe until I need to move one of those beverages to fit another drink there. Since this video is already really long, I will go ahead and end it here. Part 2 will be about growing your diamonds and how to better do that. If you have any comments about growing your profit or any suggestions or tips that you have learned from your experience from playing the game, then please leave them in the comments below. I would love to read them and share them with others. And if you have any questions about the things that you have been implementing and wondering if there's something else that you could do to increase your tips, then feel free to ask. I will answer the questions as soon as possible. I hope you enjoyed this video and find it helpful. Thanks for watching.